Economics is a social science that analyzes the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. Lionel Robbins defined economics as the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. Prominent in stereotypes is the belief that low-income parents do not care about their child's schooling and are not competent to help with homework, and do not encourage achievement. Low-income parents are generally viewed as apathetic and as not placing high value on education, and their children are said to suffer the consequences of parental disinterest. It is assumed that little can be expected of mothers on welfare, in particular, who are characterized as lazy, irresponsible women, sitting at home, having babies, and living off the government. This is seen in legislative debates about welfare reform and are common within the bureaucracies that regulate the lives of women in need of public assistance. Low-income mothers feel as if they are typically treated with disrespect, impatience, and suspicion. Social class makes a significant difference in these quick impressions, which all comes back to economics. The beliefs about low-income children and adults held by many teachers and administrators have real consequences. They are translated into negative, discouraging, and exclusionary behavior and are communicated to low-income parents in myriad ways. Low-income parents receive less warm welcomes in their children's schools. Their interventions and suggestions are less respected and attended to. And they are less able to influence the education of their children. Stereotypes affect the responses made to members of stereotyped groups and also influence the behavior of members of the group. Stereotypes on economics are evident in the school system, a virus that at future educators we cannot afford to catch. States are facing a protracted budget crisis like none seen in the last 30 years and perhaps not since the Great Depression. Percent said they would increase class sizes this school year, up from 26% in 2009 to 2010 and just 9% in 2008 to 2009. % of districts cut extracurricular activities in 2010 to 2011, up from 8% in 2009 to 2010 and 8% in 2008 to 2009. 38% of districts said they would reduce their transportation programs this school year, compared to 20% in 2009 to 2010 and 10% in 2008 to 2009. 34% of districts said they might eliminate summer school in 2010 to 2011, up from 14% in 2009 to 2010 and 8% in 2008 to 2009. 13% of districts were considering shortening the school week in 2010 to 2011, but just 2% did so in both 2009 to 2010 and 2008 to 2009. Many districts are forced to make cuts that affect students directly. These cuts include laying off teachers, which in turn increases class size, cutting extracurricular activities, cutting courses not required for graduation, eliminating summer school, adopting a 4-day school week, eliminating field trips, cutting instructional programs, cutting professional development for teachers and staff. Our current GDP, gross domestic product, in 2012, is an estimated $13.5580 trillion or a positive 2.2% change from last year and has been steadily increasing over the last 12 fiscal quarters. This coincides with the 28 straight months of private sector job gains totaling 4.4 million new jobs created. Our current personal consumption expenditures nationally have totaled to an estimated $9.582 trillion or a positive 1.9% change from last year, and have been steadily increasing since 2010. This means that people are spending and consuming more goods and services every year, which shows the beginning of the return to economic growth, strength, and security. There were 49.5 million students enrolled in public elementary and secondary schools during the 2010 to 2011 school year, which is a 0.2% increase from the year before. Out of this, 34.6 million students were enrolled in pre-K through grade 8. With this slight increase in students, schools employ 2.5% less full-time staff than the year before. In the 2010 to 2011 school year, the elementary student-to-teacher ratio was 20.0, while the secondary was 12.4. Also, there was about 42.9 students for every instructional and student support staff member. The business community recognizes that publicly provided K-12 education is an investment in human capital and makes workers more productive. 2 important job skills are required in elementary, middle, and high schools. The most obvious are learning to read and write and quantitative skills, math. Future workers also learn specific skills that will help them in their chosen occupations, sciences, art, and vocational training. A K-12 education also establishes essential social and productivity skills, such as showing up for work on time, staying at work for the requisite time, and working with. Economists recognize that the movement of an economy from an existing quantity and quality of public K-12 education to a higher level can result in greater economic development in the economy. Homeowners, even if they do not have children in public schools, are concerned about the quality of local public schools because they know from experience of the direct positive effect it has on the resale value of their property. Because the largest financial asset held by most Americans is their home, a decline in the perceived quality of education provided locally exerts important financial consequences. Academics, practitioners, policymakers, and many parents recognize that financing education at the local level inevitably leads to unequal funding of schools at a per-student level. The rate of property taxation translates into actual spending per student in the district based on per-student property value in the district. Thus, school districts dominated by high-income voters, high property values, or both, are very likely to have greater revenues than are less well-off school districts.